How to use EFT tapping to get rid of blushing. That's a question I recently received. I'm going to give you an interesting answer today. So the question was, when I'm doing my tapping, should I be focusing on the things that trigger the blushing, or should I be focusing on the feeling that I have, the shame, the embarrassment when I'm blushing? And the answer is yes. And that's a yes to both questions. However, what I have found is that there's a way to address the blushing that actually gets you better results more quickly. So yes, there are lots of causes to the blushing, and there are certain identity beliefs, like there's something wrong with me, and there are stuck feelings of shame and embarrassment and humiliation from past experiences. And there's a whole bunch of other things going on, and it actually requires quite a bit of work for most people in order to resolve facial blushing completely. However, rather than just focusing on how do I get rid of it, what I found to be very powerful is tapping on accepting the facial blushing. Now, before you sign off, hear me out. I have been tapping on blushing for many years. I reduced a lot of my social anxiety already, but the blushing would just be such a sticky issue, and I couldn't get rid of it until I eventually worked with my mentor. And when we had these sessions, we were actually tapping on normalizing the experience of blushing and no longer beating myself up and judging myself for it. So the intention that you want to have when you're doing your tapping, rather than just focusing on trying to get rid of it, is actually first focusing on coming to terms with the blushing. So you can ask yourself, am I okay with the fact that I'm blushing? And likely your answer is going to be, of course I'm not. All right. And then you might ask, well, why not? What's so bad about it? And then your answer might be, well, it means that I'm weak. Okay. That's your belief system. So you can then start tapping on that belief. Even though I believe that I'm weak because I'm blushing, it makes me weak, a loser, pathetic, whatever the judgment is. I accept myself and my feelings, and then tap to neutralize the belief that blushing equals weak. And then you might ask yourself, okay, is it okay for me to blush? And if not, why not? And another question you might want to ask yourself, very important, is when I blush and other people see it, what does it mean about me? What do they think when they see me blush? And most of this is just in your mind. Most of this is just an exaggeration, but you might come up with things like, well, they think less of me, or they think I'm pathetic, or they think I'm just a boy, or they think I'm shy, or whatever it is that you think they think. That likely has emotions connected to it. So say you think that they believe that when you blush, it means you are inferior. Well, when you actually consider that, they think I'm inferior, you might think of a past time when you blushed and they saw you blush and you recall that. When you recall that, that probably gives you all sorts of uncomfortable feelings. Those are the feelings you want to tap on. So in other words, what does blushing mean? Because nothing in life has any meaning except for the meaning that you give it. So when blushing in your mind means weakness, when you blush, it means that you're a loser, then every time you blush, those beliefs will perpetuate the blushing cycle. What you want to get to is, it's okay when I blush, and it doesn't mean anything negative about me when I blush. And anything that you can come up with that counters that, like, I shouldn't blush because it makes me weak. That's a belief to tap on. I am not okay when I blush. That's something to tap on. If other people see me blush, then they don't want to hang around with me. That's something to tap on. Anything and everything that's in the way of you being okay with blushing and being okay with yourself if you blush, that's a very valuable tapping target. And as you start chipping away at all of these tapping targets, you more and more become okay with the blushing, and you more and more become okay with yourself. And surprisingly, that's actually going to reduce the blushing, and it creates the fertile ground for the blushing to disappear completely. Acceptance is a prerequisite for lasting change. It wasn't until I accepted my blushing that I actually got rid of all of it completely. So get to tapping and work on accepting it. And for more info on how to get rid of blushing using tapping, check out this video.